gotta say, because you keep on smacking your lips.
Hey guys, hey, I see we got a couple in the chat already. Hey Carla, how you doing this morning? Well, afternoon. Carla, how you doing this morning? Well, sorry, there we go. I tried to do that. I guess I can put the. Oh, okay, maybe. Let me see if I still don't see it. Trying to figure out how to do this poll. It's not working. I can do the one on the other side. Let's see here. Oh, she definitely shook, Carla. She is definitely shook. Hey, Betty. Thanks for stopping in this morning or this afternoon. I'm going to keep saying morning. Yeah, I'm trying to get that the poll to show. What? It's working fine. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Because this little one, he acts like he has to have my attention. Say it.
Like and subscribe.
Okay. Like and subscribe. Hey, Juanita, good morning. Thanks for stopping in. Betty, Carla. Yep. So Dan said he ain't playing about Lauren. I was surprised. I said I knew she was gonna try to lie her way out of it. Okay, guys. So we have 15. I'm showing 15 out there that are watching. Can some of you please come in and in the chat say hello? Hit the like button while you're out there. Even if you don't want to come in the chat, just hit the like button for me. It helps push my content out into the algorithm. Hey, Stephanie. Okay. And you up early, girl. Like you must didn't have a late night because it's early where you are. Hey, Alexis. Thank you, guys. See, I see y'all coming in. It's like, come on, hit that like button. So Wayne is on alert. Oh, yeah, he is. He better be. And all of you are saying hello to each other. Yeah, Wayne better be on alert. Wayne, he telling the girl, well, this is just like see, we're not invested with Lauren as we are in hey Anita. Thanks for stopping by. We're not as invested with Lauren as we are with Amber. So Lauren having anxiety and stuff, I really don't care. It's like you supposed to have anxiety because you trying to use over there scamming that man for his money. Now, Amber having anxiety, that's a different thing. And that's bad because they're both women. But Lauren, she took that man's money. And that was just wrong. She shouldn't have been out there taking the man money. See, it would be different if Mr. Biggs was the one that was, coming after her. Well, she was taking his money too, but I think she was actually in a relationship with him. But she wasn't trying to be in a relationship with Dan. She was just trying to take his money. Who else came in? Guys, make sure you, as you're coming in, hit that like. Fernanda, thank you for stopping by. This is my first time seeing you, but I welcome you most definitely. I welcome all newcomers. And if you're not subscribed, or this is your first time coming into the chat or coming to my channel, please subscribe. I do this every Saturday and Sunday from 12 to about 2:30. Steffi, thank you, girl. What needed to talk about this good for Lauren? Don't say that it's good for Lauren. I feel no ways tired about Lauren. Yeah. Keisha, you a day ahead. We on Saturday. We'll be back tomorrow, but we on Saturday right now. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Like I don't blame y'all. I don't feel and it's sad, but I don't feel sorry for Lauren because she could have told Wayne. She could have said I was dating this man and he seems like maybe he turned to a stalker. I got a restraining order out on him. Put a restraining order out on him in Atlanta. Well, I mean, you don't have to, but still, she could be truthful with Wayne. She's scared that she's gonna be found out. I was like, tell Wayne, y'all need to go and get a background check on that woman, and you'll find out some stuff that you didn't know about Lauren. And he knows. He automatically said, "Yeah, you weren't buying that stuff yourself, so you was with somebody that was buying this stuff for you." One thing, he's a street dude, and he is not. Wayne not crazy. One needed to me, it's good for Lauren. And Alexa says, Tamara's on the way back real soon. Girl, are you gonna give up on that Wayne and Tamara? Keisha says, I can't stand Lauren. I don't know why her bobblehead thinks she can get Dan under control. And she can. Hey Janie, that's my aunt right there, Miss Janie. How you doing today? Angela, let's see. Carla says Lauren should have told Wayne the truth. Yeah, she should have. She could have told them that she got a crazy man, she got a stalker. She could have told them that. Because he needs to up his security. Because Dan knows where he lives at. And she know that Dan knows where he lives at because he took pictures and sent it to her. Keisha said, I said it out 3 times too. Happy Saturday. That's okay, Keisha. We all get confused on these days. I know I do. I'll be out here not trying to not remembering what day. I have to remind myself what day it is every day I wake up. To Loyal Diva, hey, thanks for stopping in. Angela says, unless Lauren don't want to leave Dan, he's her backup plan. But she's really not. I mean, is he really a backup plan? Because he done ran out of money. He has nothing anymore. So he shouldn't be a backup plan. She should be trying to work on a new backup plan. Hey, Lioness, thanks for stopping by. And Lord Diva said, I'm glad to see Wayne in the hot seat. Yeah, He's not gonna stay there for long. You know he's not. And Angela said Wayne is afraid. Yeah, he is. Because that man called him and threatened him. That was a threat. And the man knows how to get in contact with him. That's a threat. Because he's a public figure. So they know. And Angela saying, yeah, Dan threatened Wayne. He definitely did. Hey Trap Star, how you doing? Keisha says, why won't the writers let anyone in these skits tell their truth? That's because don't nobody Wayne must don't be telling his truth. Because they won't let anybody tell the truth. It's like you gotta wait till you get caught. I tell you. And Janie said Dan need to go face to face with Wayne and tell it all. Yeah, he does, but are we going to get that? We're gonna get it by the time Lauren gets so caught up to they're gonna have Dan in the back of a police car. Alexis says the answer to your question is no, Alexa. And Trapstar says it's weird that Lauren hasn't gotten the police involved with Dan. It's like she's holding on to him. I don't know. I think there's more to Lauren's background than we know about. Lauren may have some, although she has done the restraining order, there may be some other men out there that have done this to Lauren. Because if that's what she does, I'm sure there have to be other men that are out there stalking her. Because she's taking people's money and she's not taking, $100 here, $100 there. She's taking several. She took over 100,000, got 100,000 from Dan alone, and I'm no telling who else she's taken. And King is Dan's friend, and he knows Lauren's reputation. So why didn't he warn Dan that the girl is a scammer and that she takes money and that's what she does? But I think because that's what Dan does, he didn't care. But he met his match. Keisha speaking to Angela. Carla says Lauren is going to be history like Thomas Jefferson. Oh, Lord, y'all need to quit. And Trapstar saying she should have called the police when he came to Delicia's house a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, he should have. She should have. Definitely should have. Angela says, but why Lauren don't want to be truthful? He could have said she was dating Dan and he became violent, so she left him and got a restraining order. Yeah, she could have said all that. But she's hiding more and she's also trying to the girl is trying to make sure she get in Wayne's pockets. Aubrey done already told him to cut her off. So if Wayne don't cut her off, that's on him. I hope he keeps her around and Dan start terrorizing both of them. Trap star, that's what I keep saying. Why she holding on to Dan? Who knows? And Keisha said, I want Dan to scare the crap out of Wayne. Yeah, I say that too. Loyal Diva says when Wayne find out Lauren will be dismissed from the podcast apartment and Wayne's life. So if she doesn't get rid of him before this podcast drops, I'm thinking Dan will be the one calling. I don't know if they're gonna call, if they're gonna have them on like on social media or something, but Dan will be out there messing with her on that podcast. And it might not just be Dan, it may be several other people that once she starts getting that exposure, that they're gonna start coming out on Lauren, and she's gonna be in trouble. Well, she won't be with Wayne anymore because Wayne gonna be like, you got too much going on. And, Carla says, Keisha, I agree. Scare it out of Wayne. I don't know if Wayne will be scared. Oh, Trap Star said, I like how Arby gets to the point. Yeah, just cut her. She not worth it. Not at all. Somebody he like her and all that. I'm like, man, you like her till you don't. 'Cause we see how Wayne works. You was all crazy about Tamara up until you weren't anymore. Angela says Dan used to scam from other women to give Lauren. Now Lauren scam him a scammer, scammer. Yeah, see, that was how Dan operated. He was one of those people he scammed from one woman to give to another woman. And that was his MO. But I think when he actually met Lauren, he thought Lauren was sincere because she's good at what she does. So he thought she was sincere. He now knows that she's not sincere. Did he ever find out that she was messing with Mr. Bates, his attorney? I don't think he did. But yeah, I was like, he knows now that she got him. She got him. And Janie says, has anyone ever heard of a job, Lauren? No, we know she has no job. And Wayne told her that this morning. He told her, well, he's like the bags and stuff that you be carrying. He's like, I know you're not buying those for yourself. So I know you got somebody or you had somebody. And she's trying to say, no, no, no. And he's like, I know you're not buying it. Because she don't have no job. She doesn't even have a career. She has nothing. She is another Shayla on the podcast. Have nothing but their pretty faces to offer. Other than that, she don't have nothing. You know, like Delicia is the stylist, Amber does this, Tamara does that. And when it comes to Shayla and Lauren, at least I think he gave Shayla credit for being a mother. But Lauren, what have you done? Where is your contribution? What do you do? You know how to use men for money. So that's what she gonna be talking about. She gonna be out there talking about how to use men for money, I guess. And Carla says, Lauren getting in Wayne's pocket was never going to happen. She's still gonna keep trying. I think she thinks she can crack him. So now was she gonna play the damsel in distress and see if that gets it? And Angela says, well, let's hope Dan don't threaten Wayne's kids to get back at Lauren. I hope you don't. The one thing is though, the kids haven't been around lately. So thank God. Because we don't need them to see Lauren anyway. Because she's definitely a temporary. Trap Star says Dan for sure is going to start popping up at the podcast. Um, Wayne might let her go from the podcast. Yeah, if it starts to be messing up, yeah, he is. If Dan starts and then he finds out who Dan is and why Dan is popping up. Lioness says Wayne knows something about Lauren. He hasn't given her any money yet. That's because he knows she's out for the dollar. He can look. See, when she was a long months back, when they were, I forget whose house they were at, and they were talking, and Wayne asked her something about what she valued in a relationship or in a man or something, and Lauren gave him some old BS answer. And Wayne came back and said, "Look at you, you designer head to toe." She's like, and he basically told her, "I know you about money because you're sitting up here designer head to toe. That's not some cheap stuff you got on." See, he knows that she was lying when she was talking about whatever she valued in a man. I didn't keep it in my mind because I knew she was lying. But he knew she was lying also, and he knows that she was about money. And that's why he gave her that money that first day, that money at that thing. So, because he knew that'll hook her and that would keep her for a little while because she's trying to get more. Wayne knew what he was doing. He knows what he's doing. Now we haven't seen him give her any more money. She got the apartment, and in that little apartment, she called herself being happy, which I don't understand because her house dwarfs over that. But I don't know. Carla says Lauren don't want a job. That means just over broke. Oh, that's what the job means, just over broke. Well, I guess a lot of us were just over broke with the job. Trap says Angela, when Dan popped up at Wayne's house, that's what I thought about his kids. Yeah. Hey, Internet. She says Wayne knows she's lying. He's gonna make sure don't nothing comes by the way of his family. I'm right. Yeah, you know that. And I'm sure Wayne will have somebody. He'll probably get another security. See, she should tell him that man was outside of Wayne's house and he could get into his property. I don't know what kind of security Wayne has, but that man could get there. And Dan is kind of big. He's a big boy, and Wayne don't. He doesn't tussle with the big boy. He'll talk junk, but he's not gonna tussle with them big boys. He's gonna back off. And Dan is a big boy, and he's got an anger issue. So, mm-mm. And Angela says Lauren's not getting much from Wayne. She's gonna wait a long time to reach Wayne's pocket. Well, she's in I guess she says she's in for the long game. She's trying long term. Hey Chris, how you H? Good afternoon. I keep saying good morning. If you're in another time zone that it's morning, good morning. Lioness says Wayne is concerned because his house is a family home for his kids. Yeah. And that's what he told the girl. He's like, I got a lot to lose. She don't have anything to lose, but he does have a lot to lose. And Angela says Lauren don't even look like she saved her money. She just buy material things with her money. Yeah, that's all she does. Well, since they've introduced her in these skits, Antoinette's asking Stephanie how she feeling. Michelle B is in. Hey, Michelle, thanks for stopping by. And Carla's saying Wayne still didn't buy that purse after she cooked breakfast. No, she claimed, well, I don't even want the purse now. She knows she still wanted that purse. That's how he know that that for $20,000 purse, she lost her mind. Angela says, Carla, he was going to buy the purse after the breakfast. She said she didn't want it no more. No, because she's trying to be humble, and I don't really want the purse. I'd rather do something else. And I'm like Lauren. I remember Mr. Biggs had he gave her money to start a business, and she tried to use that money to pay Dan back. And Dan didn't take the money. So what happened to the money Mr. Biggs gave her? Because she didn't use it for travel either. So I'm trying to see how she did that. What she do with that money? Did she buy something with that money? And they had the nerve to tell Dan yesterday, but I'm busy with my mother. You need to stop lying on your mother, woman. Please stop lying on her. Lioness said, hey, Stephanie. Oh, she's saying, Miss Louisiana, baby. I can't say that. Can't say it like Stephanie. Oh, Angel saying, new skit. Lauren checks Dan for calling Arby. Yeah, I think I saw that one, but she agrees to meet him at her apartment. So now he knows where she lives. He knows where she works, and he knows where she hangs out at. He knows everything about her. Like, I don't know why she thought Dan was. It's like, we knew Dan was out there in them bushes someplace, but Lauren didn't think he was out in the bushes. Dan been in the bushes following Lauren around. Oh, Alexis, what you said Dan should have sent the video to Tamara. Well, if he would have sent it to Tamara, she would have told Wayne. And Dan doesn't want Wayne to know. Right now, he's on more on trying to get to Lauren. So he's not ready to be revealed to Wayne just yet. And he knows that Lauren's not going to reveal him right now. Sending it to Tamara would reveal him to Wayne, and he's not going to do that. And Angela says Dan told Lauren if Wayne loves his kids, he need to leave Lauren alone. I don't know. You don't threaten the man kids, Dan, but Laura Diva says now Wayne has more to think about than Amber because Dan is definitely a bugaboo. He a bugaboo. Maybe Amber can catch a break. You know what? I thought about that same thing, Laura. I was like, maybe you leave Amber and Dave alone for a minute and and let Amber catch at least one break while you deal with Lauren and her stalker. And Angela says, Dan said, Lauren say it's over. And Dan said, I never signed to that. He never said it was over. Nah, he said it ain't over. Hey Dolly, how you doing? So you popped up in there with that count. So we had 28 watching and 26 likes. And now we're at 31 watching. Let's get those likes up to match. And Angela says, Dan told Lauren we can meet at your place. Yeah, at your place, which is also, of course, it's You know, all of it's Wayne's house. And Carla says 34 likes and 30, yeah, 34 likes and 19, I guess 19 watching, 29 watching. I don't know. She got both of them as likes. Stephanie, everybody's saying, hey, baby. Angela says, Lauren's stupid. I would be coming to the apartment with the cops. She should. We'll see what she's going to do. Whatever time she decides to meet him, that's when she should be calling them, asking, telling them that she's meeting him at this apartment. But she doesn't know what kind of car he's in. And Dolly said Dan was literally in the bushes lurking in the dark. Yes, he was. We knew that's where he was at. He was literally in the bushes. He's been in the bushes all along, following Lauren around. Janie said Dan is going to show up at the podcast office next. He will. Did he come yet? He didn't come yet, but he's always known where the podcast office is because he found that out early on. Because she led him to the podcast office, and they were telling her he can't be coming to that podcast office because she gonna get fired. But she'll listen later. Hey Shirley, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Happy weekend to you too. And Keisha said Lauren is jeopardizing everyone's safety because she only cares about herself. What a trifling bobblehead. Y'all keep calling that woman bobblehead. Okay, Carlos said 34 watching and 31 likes. Okay, I was on the right track. Sometimes I don't read correctly. Stephanie, everybody's telling you they're hoping you're feeling better. Couple people saying hello to Dolly. And Angela says now Dan keeping Wayne distracted. He won't have time to go to Amber's house, then running back to tell Anthony the people them people business. Yeah, but we have to know. Well, was concerned about what's going on, and she's saying no. But I think Arby and Wayne have enough sense that hopefully they will increase their security, and because they don't know. Now you can leave Lauren out to dry because Wayne definitely was concerned. He's like, I got a lot to lose now. You need to tell me. Hey, Sasha speaks. And he's like, I love your channel. Thank you. I appreciate that. I try. I do try. Michelle B is saying, Stephanie, everybody's wishing that hoping that you feel better, Steffi. You know we love you. Stephanie telling y'all to come out them bushes and hit that light. And Loyal Diva said, that's right. Wayne needs some drama of his own. Yes, please. Because we tired of you and everybody else's drama. Let Amber do her thing and tell Anthony to sign them daggone divorce papers. Oh, Dan is at Lauren's apartment. Lord. Oh, Angela said Danny boy going out bad. He's obsessed. Yeah, he's been obsessed with Lauren. Child. Oh, you new to my channel also. I know I've never seen your name before in my live, but thank you. I try to be here every Saturday and Sunday from 12 to 2 on the live, and then I do reviews. Now, next 2 weeks I will not be here on the weekend because I'm going out of town. So I'm gonna miss you guys. And like I've done before, when I don't know if I'll have, it depends on where we are as to whether I will be able to get on a live or something just quickly and do something. Because we're going to St. Thomas and Puerto Rico, which on the port days I should be able to use my phone to get on live, but on the other days I'll be off the grid because we'll be just in the sea and I'm not paying for Wi-Fi. And Trap Star says, "Oh goodness, Dan has pushed his way in the apartment with Lauren and going off." So I'm gonna give y'all. Let me see if I can do this. I can do it. That's wrong. Okay, I'm coming, guys. I'm coming. I'm trying to. I'm gonna bring up the and share the screen. We can watch it. If they hit it, I'll just take the video off. No biggie. Okay, here we go. Let's go.
Hey, babe.
Hey,
Say, hey, babe.
we can talk right here. This needs to stop. All of this needs to stop now.
What need to stop?
This doesn't feel like abuse to you. You don't see that you're
Abuse?
abusing me?
Abuse?
Abuse.
This is love. What are you talking about? There's nothing about abuse. This is me loving you.
And I appreciate that you ever loved me, and I have love for you. But I can't do this with you anymore.
Listen, I'm not doing this without you. Like I already told you, I love you. Like ain't nobody gonna love you the way I love you.
Mm.
Ain't nobody gonna care for you the way I care for you. I love you with every fiber of my being. I just, I don't, it's just how you make me feel. I just can't let that go. You want me to let that go?
Damn.
I need you to.
I'm not letting that go.
Dan is really, really crazy. He has built up in his head that this was way more than it was. This girl would barely let you touch her. She would barely let you kiss her. You couldn't be intimate with her. I think you was only intimate with her one time. He's really built that up to be way more than it is. Dan got some other kind of issues going on. Yeah, this is another form of mental illness that they got out here in these skits. This man.
You need to, it's, this Wayne stuff, you need to cut it out. Like, I don't know what's going on. He might have the money, he might have more money than me, but he ain't gonna love you like I'm gonna love you. He's not. He probably gonna dispose of you. Soon you're gonna realize money ain't everything.
Not to
Money ain't everything. You can't buy love.
some damn teaching.
Dan, you and I are no longer a thing. I've said it so many times. Like, this is it. This is really needs to be it.
This ain't it. You think I'm gonna just let go like that? Listen. Not only do I love you, I would die for you, and I really mean that. I would really lay my life down for you. I would die for you.
You don't mean
That's a different kind of love. It's a different kind of crazy, also. Really a different kind of crazy.
that. Stop saying that.
No, I mean it. No, I'm telling you, I mean it. I really mean it. I'm not playing about you. Not only will I die for you, I will die with you. I don't mind going back to prison if that's what it takes.
Going back to
I'm just here to let you know I'm not going anywhere.
Dan, you need to stop.
You know what I need is you. You complete me. I need you a part of my life. I can't function without you. I wake up thinking about you. I sleep thinking about you. No.
oh,
You need to forget about Wayne. You need to forget about Wayne. Let him go. Because I love you. That's why.
ooh, Lord. That's some mess, y'all. They got Dan over here really acting. They got Dan acting for real. Whew. Now that is when it turns out to be some real crazy. I was gonna say, unaliving, but that's basically what it's turning out to be. I don't know what he gonna do to her, but she better get it together. Now, if she don't go back and tell Wayne now, whatever, I ain't gonna say she deserves whatever she gets because that's not right. But she better go back and tell because that man has lost his mind. He gonna push us away. Ooh, he's going off on her. That's for sure. Well, Trav Star, she tried to give that 40,000 back, and he wouldn't take it. He told her he didn't want it. That was she got the 40,000 from Mr. Biggs to give it to him, and that's what I was asking. What did she do with that 40,000? Because Dan wouldn't take that money. He said no. He wanted her. He don't want the money. Michelle Shelby said, "Did they ever sign the contracts?" No, they ain't signed them contracts. And Angela said, "It is like Lauren not taking Dan seriously. She went to that apartment by herself. Dan will die for her." Yeah, she shouldn't have went there by herself, but she thinks that she can control Dan, and she can't control him. And Loyal Diva says, and one week we have Erica and Crazy Al, and we also have Lauren and her stalker Dan. Wayne has a lot going on, and he's in the middle of it. Yeah. Well, because remember, Al wanted to meet Wayne. Now Al knows who Wayne is, and Wayne knows Al, and he knows he crazy. And then he don't know that Lauren got this crazy man. And I didn't know he had been in prison. Oh, Lord. And Steffi says, I love each and every one of you so much. She sends everybody love. And Angela says, too many crazies on Wayne's chat. Well, if he could get out of people's personal business and just let the crazies do their thing. Yeah, Steffi saying no contracts have been signed. No, get well soon. Yeah, Al does need to go, but he's not going yet until everybody else. Dan gonna need to go in a minute. And Dolly says Lauren stood right in Wayne's face and lied about Dan. Yeah, she stands in his face. She lies all the time now. And Carla says, Lord, Dan done pushed his way into Lauren's house, closed the door, and doing a lot of hollering and screaming. She better hope that the neighbors are home and they hear that and somebody calls the police. And Angela says, oh, yeah, oh, Lord, Miss B, you're going to leave us bored for 2 weeks. Oh, if I'm not here, Nanya will probably try and get on and do a live. So y'all don't let her do Saturday and Sunday. Just let her do one day because she will try and make sure that y'all don't miss anything. So, but yeah, I'm gonna be gone for 2 weeks. I got a 7-day cruise, and it's Saturday to Saturday, so I won't be back. But y'all gonna be okay. It's like I said, Nanya will be on live. She will be there. I know her. Hey Jeff, how you doing? Thanks for coming by. And Stephanie saying she sure did, Dolly. I told her you she was horrible. Yeah, she is. She's horrible. Oh, that's Stephanie. Do not like her. And we just been calling her name. Sorry, Steph. I forgot. We forgot we're supposed to say the L lady. And Dolly says, Steffi Al finally got the water bottle yesterday. Yeah, because Erica hadn't been carrying that water bottle. She got that water on Al yesterday. Somebody need to whoop Al and go send him back upstairs to his office. Because I'm tired of him too. And Loyal Diva says, Angela, it is so many crazies in the skits that they're turning normal people into crazies. But you know what? Because there's two crazy men that I can think of right this second, and two crazy women, um, Libby and Genesis. And they're turning, Terry is turning crazy from dealing with both of those crazy women. Terry is turning, and it looks like they're turning Kendrick also. I'm like, I don't know who's doing all these skits, but y'all doing too much. Everybody got to be crazy. We already knew Libby and Genesis was crazy. Can we stop it at them? And then, of course, Lauren got a stalker. Okay, good story, good line because she done took all his money. We all kind of like, yeah, and everybody like, oh, Dan, Dan, Dan. But that right there was just going a bit too far. So hopefully Lauren called Delicia or somebody and say, hey, come over to the apartment because I'm meeting Dan. So somebody comes up and saves her. I'm hoping, but we don't know. Oh, Jeff saying pause and do commentary in between, and I should be okay. Okay, yeah, I did pause for a minute. I didn't do enough pausing though. But if they mess with it, I can just take down the I'll take down the video. It won't be so bad. But yeah, normally pause and do it, and then I made sure I put myself in the in the video as well. They've been not messing with me as long as I'm putting myself in that video. And Dolly says, right, Stephanie, she lied to Mr. Biggs and then now she's lying to Wayne. That's who Lauren is. That's exactly who she is. And Carla says, Miss B, you can't leave us without reviews on the weekend, no vacation. Hey, y'all better get now. I don't say get used to it, but I have to go sometimes. Like I'm retired and I have to travel while I can. You know, you got to do it while you can because there may be one day that I can't travel. So I want to be able to travel while I'm able. And traveling was one thing I always wanted to do when I was working and when I was married and didn't have a whole lot of money. I still don't have a whole lot, but I have more than I did. And I always wanted to travel, so I get the chance now, so I can do it. And I love a cruise ship. Although I was scared to go on a cruise ship, I was like, I don't feel like go. I don't think I could go on a cruise ship. All those people on the ship, I thought I would feel claustrophobic. I was like, it's too many people, all 3,500 people, all in one place. But then after I went on one, I was like, okay, I can do this. Now you can't stop me from going. Hey, and Stephanie said Dan is definitely delusional. He is. He real delusional about that. About that, she hadn't even. They wasn't well because she did let him come over and they would sit down and watch movies and all that stuff. So I guess to Dan that was cool. That was his date. That was his woman. Shirley says you'll be missed to Miss B. Have fun. I definitely will. Believe me. I'm going on the what is it? I think we're going on the Icon. That was the biggest one before the Star for Royal Caribbean. So we're going on the Icon. And then in October, I'm going on the Mardi Gras. So I'll be making my rounds. I have a friend who she always gets cruises. So she calls me up and say, hey, I got this offer right here. You ready? And I'll be like, yep, I'm ready. And Jeff says, when Wayne break up with her, will she crawl back to Dan? I don't think so. I think she about knows Dan is not the one to be messed with at all. She shouldn't. Hey, Sunshine, thanks for stopping by. And Angela says how she went to the apartment by herself because she thinks she can control Dan and she can't. Trapstar says, I noticed several of the storylines are now showing women as men's possessions. Dan and Lauren, Alan, Erica, Wayne with all his exes. So women are not property. True. That's again, that's that what they call that in that red pill community. A lot of the stuff is bleeding over into these skits. And Dolly says, right, caller, I got Miss B on my alarm for Saturday and Sunday. Oh, Stephanie said, Dolly, she's always lying. Keisha's saying she never should have gave him the cookies that one time. Now he thinks he's really in love with her. Yeah, and it was only that one time because he gave her that watch. See, she wasn't so greedy. She could have gave that watch back to that man and not done anything with him, and she'd have been all right. But now, Lauren, you had to push the envelope. But I couldn't because he bought me this watch. He bought me this watch. I couldn't. Oh, this watch. It's like, yeah, Lauren. Hey, Dolly was like, we got 35 likes and 35 watching. We're doing good, guys. Yes, y'all. Angela says, I think Dan has a case with another woman in court, and Lauren knew, but was still talking her stuff. Yes, he has multiple complaints against him, and she knew, and she decided that she was still going to try to scam that man out of his money. And I'm not going to say this is what she gets, but this is what happens when you do that. If you know what's going on and you continue to mess with that person, they're gonna show you who they are eventually. And she knew who he was. Then her friend kept telling her to leave him alone, leave him alone, leave him alone. And her mother begged her to leave him alone because her mother knows she saw the crazy in that man. Really saw the crazy. And Jeff is saying that's scary. It is. Shirley says, "Hello, my dear Stephanie. Hope your day is going your way and hope you're doing well." Yeah, she's in the chat today, so she's feeling a lot better than she has in the last couple of weeks. So this is crazy love. Yes, it is. What my title say? When I ain't playing about you turns crazy. Yeah, I ain't playing about you turns crazy. Because that's what he always says. I ain't playing about you. And Dolly says Stephanie Lauren is a master liar and scammer. And she's a master manipulator. I'm not sure what you're asking. Jeff Lioness says, yes, it must be a real different kind of love. Yes. So Jeff, you do movie reviews. Angela says, I hope he don't hit her. I don't take too kindly to DV. I'm hoping he doesn't either. I think they they have taken it all the way up to the line, but a lot of times they haven't had people cross the lines lately. So hopefully they won't go that far because a couple times, well, Amber slapped Anthony, but they wouldn't let Anthony, like, hit Amber because he wanted to a couple of times, but they didn't let it go that far. So I'm hoping that they don't take it there with Dane. Just like enough, we heard enough in that apartment when he closed that door and all that yelling, and all we have to do is use our imagination. But they have done a good job, and I'm sure that Dan and Lauren have been taking some acting classes because when they first came on, they were not that good, but they're doing good now. Their acting is very convincing, and Dan is really convincing as a crazy man. I don't know if that's somewhere deep inside of him, but Dan is good as a crazy man. Like their acting has really, really done. They have done very well in their acting. They've come all the way up. Y'all should start getting roles soon, especially you, Dan. If for an angry black man, you're it. And Lauren is saying, "Whoo." Jeff, they definitely did bring some real drama. That was some real drama right there. That's why I said that acting was good. And Trap Star said, Angela, me either. And Keisha's saying, this is going to be Al and Erica if she doesn't get away from him. Yeah, I don't know how theirs is going to go. I have no idea how that's going to go. But she be punking Al just a little bit, but he looks like he has a fuse that may get lit real easy. And Angela says, wonder if we will find Lauren after Dan finished with. Girl, we gonna find Lauren. She gonna be a little shaken up, but she gonna be all right. They're not gonna let it go too far. And Dolly says this will stop Wayne from playing both sides for a moment anyway. Do you really think so? It's not touching it's not touching Wayne unless she goes and tells Wayne Wayne don't care. It's not gonna touch him really. And Trap Star saying, "Oh wow, I didn't know he wouldn't take the 40K back. It's definitely time to call the police." Yeah, she tried to give him that 40K early on, and he would not take it back. It was the second 40K, not the first one. Was I think it was the second one. He wouldn't take it back. He's like, I don't want the money. Dolly said Dan has completely lost all of his cool points. Yeah, he lost all his mind too. And Jeff says she should have went to a park or a mall, someplace very public. You know that's what happens when you think you can control somebody. And Stephanie said he gave her a handbag and a Rolex watch, yeah, some shoes, and that's what it's costing her. Her right now, her peace. So you go pull out those handbags and those Rolexes, that Rolex and that those shoes, and look at them and say, "Look what y'all did to me." So I sold my soul, and this man trying to snatch my soul. And Michelle said, This is sick puppy love. If they don't know how to deal with the situations like this is, you better wrap this up real quick." Well, hopefully they will, because there ain't no puppy love. This Brooke got puppy love. This right here is crazy love. This is something that's too much. And Angela said, Jeff, I agree. And Carla says Lauren probably has some mental issues. That man gave her 20 warning signs. No, she had a police report that gave her the warning signs. She had the man's police report, his jacket, with everything that he's been charged with. And she decided that she could still scam this man out of some money. She walked right into it. And she thinks that she can control him. He's like, you can't control him, Lauren. Only way you're going to control him is if you be with him. Other than that, you're not controlling him. But she had more than 20. I don't know how many complaints he had in that jacket, in the jacket, so they call it. But they were there. And she was like, oh, she could control it. So this is what happens when you try. I'm not going to say this is what you get when you do that. I said this is what happens when you try to do that. And Stephanie says, I agree, Carla. And Jeff says they're making Shayla look regular. Yeah, because her crash out was nothing compared to these crash outs of these people, especially Libby, because Libby's in another world. She's delusional also. Nah, Dan and Livy, they would out crazy each other. Angela says every time Lauren tried to leave Dan, he bought her a gift, and her greedy self took it and looked past the crazy. Yeah, she did, because her goal was to get the gifts. She didn't care about the man, his mental health, her safety, or anything. She just cared about getting those gifts. And after the Rolex is when she finally decided that she had enough. It was like, it's too late then. That Rolex cost about, I think, about close to 80,000 or something like that. That man gave you a lot of money. And Stephanie says, y'all know how I feel about Lauren. Game over. We know how you feel about Lauren, Stephanie. Shirley says, yes, Stephanie, we know how you feel about L. And Dolly says Lauren has had some type of mental issues too to keep entertaining men like this. Yeah, she does. Trap said Al deserved that water bottle. Yes, he did. And see, he was stalking Erica. He over there following her. And she come talking about she was gonna block him. It's like, Erica, you don't tell a man in front of him that you're gonna block him. You do that after the fact. And Alexis says Dan is on fire. And Stephanie say, I'm sorry, she deserves to be scared, but not unalive. Well, I just said I don't want to say that's what she deserves. I just said that's what happens when you do that. That's consequences. And Trapstar said, I'd love to see Erica and Stevie double dating with Dave and Amber. I don't like Stevie. I can't. Erica thinks she got a problem with Al. Stevie ain't no better. Stevie is no better. And not to say Stevie, no, there's nothing wrong with Stevie. I just don't like his parables or whatever they are, that how he talks. I just can't stand it. And he's actually a motivational speaker. But oh God, I just don't like Stevie. I didn't like when he was in the skits before. And I'm like, what they done brought him back for? Miss Game, hey, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate you stopping. Hey Iris, how you doing? It's like I'm seeing a whole bunch of different people I've not seen. Y'all might have been out here in these in the bushes. But I thank you all for stopping by, and remember to subscribe, like the video, and subscribe out there. We'll be here. And Dolly says Dan says he don't mind going back to prison. When he said that, I was like, he went to prison. He was in prison. See, she probably has that in his in that paperwork that the policeman brought her. Why are you messing with this man and he done been to prison? Do you know why he went to prison? Do you know if it was just for stalking? Did he, beat somebody? You don't know if he actually hurt somebody. But you playing. Trapstar said Erica, Amber, Ernestine, and Amanda need to be the new break off friend circle. Yeah. I like the maturity and class of these women together. They can replace Amber with Momo on the podcast. No, what's the name? Got Amber's spot, Denisha. She got Denisha. She got Amber's spot if Eric. But yeah, Amber, Erica, Ernestine, and Amanda. And you know what? This morning I was watching and it came up in my timeline. There was a skit that had Erica, Amber, Ernestine, Amanda. I don't think Amanda had came to town yet. They had gone to and it was who were the other ones? Sarah and her crew. They had went to LA. They had all went to LA together. Oh, Shayla was there with her pregnant son. But yeah, they had all went to LA, and I was looking like, yeah, that's a pretty good group. Ernestine, that was when Ernestine and Jay was still married. And Ernestine, she was talking junk to Amber. 'Cause I guess Amber had invited her ex from Detroit. He was in LA, and she invited him over to the Airbnb. And Ernestine always gonna say, so she always got to hold somebody accountable. But yeah, it's like they were hanging out together in LA. Like, so yeah, that would be a good friend group. because it's an old friend group that just don't hang together anymore. And Angela says, I don't think she can call anyone because she thinks she could sweet talk Dan. Yeah. 39 likes and 32 watching. We're keeping up. And Trap Star says, I mean Melissa is who they should replace Amber with on the podcast. You think so, Melissa? Melissa's a little bit street for the rest of them. She's way too many, too street for them. And Stephanie saying, Miss B, love you. Enjoy yourself, my love. I'm so happy for you. Thank you, Stephanie. Esther Roof is in the house. Hey, lady, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. And Loyal Diva said Charles has, what her name, Uli. Mike has Dom and her crazy mom. And Natasha's sister Don. Craziness all over these kids. Yeah, there is a lot of mental health issues. A lot of mental health. I guess are they showing us that there's a lot of unchecked mental health in the Black community? Because a lot of these people are really unchecked mental health. And then just to move over, Mr. Mitchell over here telling Sonny about how Bone doesn't has a fatherless spirit, but you can't pick up on Tamika that Tamika crazy. So you over here telling Sonny, you over here analyzing Bone, but you haven't analyzed Tamika. You don't realize that woman crazy, that she got some issues, and she has some mental health issues, and they're gonna come out on you soon. That's how Mr. Mitchell telling Sonny about that man. She didn't. Sonny, I don't know what's with Sonny's character. She came in one way, and they just changed her to the point where now your father tell you that you shouldn't be having sex with this woman, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna be celibate." Really, really, Sonny, and he went along with it. Dolly said, don't forget Wayne setting Darren straight about Amber all in 1 week. Yeah, he did. He definitely did. But I took that to be part of that was he was also like covering for himself because him saying, because Darren started it off with, she slept with you too. And I'm sure Wayne was like, you just not gonna say nothing to me. So you just ain't gonna have that with me. And Anthony wasn't going to say anything because he never does, and he never did say anything about Darren talking about Amber. It's almost like Anthony agrees with all that stuff about Amber. So why say anything? But I'm glad Wayne stepped up for it and at least said no, we ain't having this. Like your wife, she was sleeping with Mike. At least Amber knew who she was. She had it wasn't somebody she just met, and of course, it's never been told. And I'll tell it every time. Wayne was Amber's ex. So and Wayne dated first. After they dated, Anthony went for Amber, which he has always shown that he wants what Wayne had, the competition between him and Wayne. So he went for her and then come back, and Wayne said, okay, so I'm gonna mess with her for a little while longer because he wasn't finished with her yet. So he started messing with Amber and him and Amber while she was engaged. Of course, while she was engaged, it wasn't right, but she was still single also. And Wayne made that distinction over and over and over again during that time. He's like, y'all not married. You're not married. But as soon as they got married, he was done. So Wayne didn't even see it as crossing a line because she was engaged. He was like, you're she his in his mind, in Wayne's mind, she was still single. And I remember that. I just remembered that in his mind, she was still single. And so that's why it was okay with Wayne to do that. But Wayne's like, he don't mess with no married women. And thus far, we haven't seen him mess with the married woman. But he's like, he doesn't do that part. So at the end of the day, while we're saying that Amber, oh, they was engaged, according to Wayne, she was single at the time. And that's why it was okay with him to do it. So let's not keep, we keep down in Amber, but we don't down Wayne. And that was Wayne's philosophy. So, all right, let me get off this soapbox. Y'all know I'll get on the soapbox and y'all know I'll get up there. I was looking like I don't got my food up here now. That fruit makes me look hungry. And Trap Star says, I love Royal Caribbean. Enjoy, Miss B. Let us know how you like the icon. I definitely will. I will. Thank you. Now I'll let y'all know. Like I said, I'll probably try to do at least one live while I'm out there. It won't be a long one, maybe like, 15 minutes or so. And Dolly says we have 40 likes and 39 watching. And we keep going up and down, but we're doing pretty good. She was 30 likes and then 37 watching. Angela Eva, Angelo Evans, thanks for stopping by. Hey. Stephanie said Wayne always takes up for Amber. He does. Because he's still like, he has a certain love still for Amber, as we already know. He still loves Amber. And Loyal Diva says, so Dan is going to prison and hauling active cases with other women for the same thing. That's crazy. Yeah. He has a lot of active cases, but Lauren was like, no. Angela says it only takes one time. It does only take one time. Angela says, notice how the men always humble when they talking to other men, but bully the women. Look how Al was humbled in front of Wayne. Same like Wayne was humbled in front of Dave. Yeah. Because those men for both of them, like especially for Wayne, you could tell Wayne because Wayne's he immediately talks about the man's build. And he's like, oh, he got muscles. Look at all them shoulders. And that's why if Wayne and Dan ever came across each other, Wayne's gonna retreat because he's like, this is a big dude. I can't do nothing with him. But the same thing with Al. Al is not so much not because of Wayne's size, but because of who Wayne is. And Al's a punk anyway. He's not going to act the same way around a man than he will around women because a man will punch him. And he knows a man will punch him. And they know that, so they're not going to react the same. That's the difference. And that's what I've seen in most men is like, because a man will just go, they just punch you, period. It's like you're not going to keep acting out in front of, with them on other, and especially for on women, they will just hit you and get it over with. And most men know that because they'll do it. And Dolly says, Miss B, um, we have to say the L word around Stephanie. I know we've been saying that woman's name all this time. So guess what? Today she hears Lauren all day. She'll be all right. She'll forgive us. She'll forgive us. Stephanie know we love her. And Iris says Lauren is just as delusional as Dan. They deserve each other. Yeah, she's delusional. Carla says, Stephanie, you're right. Wayne will talk crazy to Amber, but he don't allow anyone else to talk crazy to her or about her. That's that protector, and he still like I said, he still got so much love for her, but he will talk crazy to her. It is just like she's his sister. Like somebody would treat their sister, they'll talk crazy about their sister, but you better not say nothing about their sister. Loyal Diva said Lauren was mourned by a stranger that had dated him and told him that he was someone not to date. Yeah, she was warned by, but Loyal Diva, she already had that police report. She had that whole police jacket with all the things that man had been charged with. And in her mind, she was good enough. She was going to take the challenge to be able to be the one to get over on him. And she's not. Like you, and what she did was release the crazy. Dolly says, Miss B, I was about to say they got Kendrick all over the place. They do. Kendrick done lost his mind too over there with them crazy women. Libby be turning out all the men. I don't know what Libby doing, but Libby be turning out all the men. And so we got 41 likes and 32 watching. And Jeff said, yes, ma'am, I do reviews. I'm still building my channel. Okay, Jeff, you got to give us your gotta get your information. I'll put it out there. So if anybody y'all go support Jeff's channel, he does movie reviews. I don't know what kind. Maybe I'm gonna go out there and see what kind of reviews Jeff does. Which kind of movies anyway. Dan has an entitlement mindset, fragile ego, and a masculine threat when rejected is internalized. Yeah, he got all that. He got that and more. Dan crazy. And Angela says, Jeff, what do you review? See, Jeff, they're going to ask you. I have to go find it real quick and go and put it in the chat for everybody to go to your channel. Esther says, I hope a neighbor hears the argument and the loud shouting and call police. I hope so too. Because in the end, it would be strange for coming from that apartment because nobody lives there. So maybe somebody will call, but they're on an end apartment, and I don't know. I think they only share one wall with anybody. So maybe we're gonna just let Lauren get, torch it just a little bit. And make Dan make us stay there with him, just kidnap her for a couple of hours. Uh, Esther says, I hope Lauren take this as a warning and change her ways. No, she's not. She won't. And Lauren Diva says, Lauren was warned by the stranger not to date Dan. Yeah, but she didn't take heed. And Jeff is saying, I'm doing mostly low budget movies and older ones, trying to get better at reviewing and editing the videos. Okay. He said low budget movies. Stephanie says, I don't like Lauren, but I don't want him to hit her. Yeah, I know that. Now, don't get me wrong, she deserves something. No, she don't. He don't need to hit her. Just scare her. Just hold it in and scare her for a little while. Angela says, Miss B told Dan to leave Lauren alone because if he go back to jail with the case, oh, Mr. B told him he won't be able to help him. Hey, Dan said he don't care if he goes to jail, so he's gonna go to jail. Hey, Diamond, how are you? Thanks for stopping in. And Dolly says, Miss B, enjoy the cruise and live it up. I will, Dolly. Thank you. And Laurel Diva says, Lauren is naive to think that she could handle Dan. This will not end well good. Well, it's not ending good right now because this is like what the second or third time that he's done something that truly scares her. You know, when she was outside at Delicia's house and he pulled up on her against that car and Delicia had to come out to save her. And now then she him pulled up at Wayne's house while she's there and she knows it. And now she done met him at the apartment and he done pushed his way in. Why would you think that he was gonna let you go into that apartment? A smart person would have not tried to go inside and close the door. You would have walked past him and go get in the car, but you wouldn't have went inside that apartment because he was going to come in there and get it and get you. Stephanie says Anthony will never take up for Amber ever. He's a clown and always be a clown. Child, y'all, I don't even want to talk about Anthony. Angela says, Stephanie, I agree. No hitting. Lauren gonna be Lauren, but Dan can't force her to be with him. It's true. Loyal Diva said Dan is a criminal. We figured that one out. We have figured that out. Um, Angela says Lauren looked past Dan past because she too greedy for Chanel bags. Hey, she did. She looked past it because she thought he was an easy mark. It's just like she thought that Wayne was an easy mark. And he's not. She thought that Wayne treats all the ladies like he treats Tamara. Like he just gives out money, and he didn't. And Dan wasn't an easy mark either. So Lauren, you should know now you did two in a row where they're not easy marks. You're gonna have to get out of that game. I get out of that game and start actually working for a paycheck. Angela says Shayla can't play crash on crash out sings. She was playing them better. But they got some people that are way better crash outs than Shayla. Angela said these men need to stop buying love because when it don't work, they crash out. Yeah. Lioness says, just don't let Lauren stay with Wayne. Let Wayne say bye to Lauren and let Al and Lauren get together. Why you want her to go from one crash out to a next one? I don't know. Well, Al don't buy stuff for people. Al, she wouldn't get Al as a mark because Al does not give out money. He doesn't seem to be like somebody who gives out money. He wants to talk about his seven figures, but he don't want to share in his seven figures. Angela says, I don't like Stevie. He talked too much. Oh, yeah, I never did like Stevie. I was like, Erica, please get away from that man. And Shirley says, now, this is the choking kind of love. Maybe she will have bruises on her arms for Wayne to find out who she really is. No, I'm not for the DV either. No, I know. But maybe she won't have bruises. No, she ain't gonna have no bruises. Angela says, Shirley, she'll cover him up. Yes, she will. And Angela said, thank you, newcomers, to Brunch with Miss B. Like and subscribe. That's my baby. Stephanie said, Dan went to prison for all kinds of stuff. Yeah, and Dan was in prison. It's like that's dangerous within itself. Sure. It's like no prison. Men come out of prison. How long ago was he in prison? Trapstar says, yes, Dan went to prison. That's why he had an attorney, Mr. Big. He stalked a number of women, and Lauren found out and kept playing with him. Yep. And that's where she went wrong. And that's what happens when you think you're smarter than people. Stephanie says, Lauren better watch out. This is scary. On the podcast, those African dudes gonna come out. That's what I say. It's not just going to be the African dudes. It's going to be all those men in Miami who she has scammed. Because remember, King says she has a reputation in Miami of one of those finessers. So when she gets on that podcast, all those men who she's been finessing, they will come and they'll come out. They're going to be all over that podcast. And then Wayne will see who he has for real. If he doesn't see it before then, he'll see it then. And Dolly says Uli is obsessed with Natasha. Uli then went in Natasha's house and stole one of Natasha's dresses. What? Yeah, she crazy. You see how she cut up that picture yesterday and then she was eating the picture of Natasha? Like, I don't know what she did with Charles, but oh God, where they get why they want all these crazy people? But I think it's a lot of mental illness up in Atlanta as well. So, mm-hmm. Stephanie said, Dolly is Uli give me she give me Uli gives you life. Nah, she don't give me life. Hey Carrie, how are you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Y'all just stopping in here. Hey Nanya. Hello. Thank you. You have a wonderful day also. I'm sure you'll be getting ready to go someplace. Dolly to my Steffi that walk. She told my Uli the way she be walking. And Stephanie's like, that walk Uli giving me everything. I seriously be laughing my butt off. Uli is a mess. Dolly says, I'm not a fan of DV at all because I've seen it too close to home. Yeah, definitely. That's why I said they're not going to let him do anything to her or hit her. But, it's just the thought of it. They give us like the thought that that's what could happen. But he ain't going to mess up. And Dolly is saying thanks to all the new chatters joining Miss B's reviews. I thank you, new chatters. Also, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. I do reviews every day or almost every day. I do the lives on the weekends. Oh Lord, there go my grandson. I don't know what he's talking about. And Stephanie said, please like and subscribe and share to my precious Miss B's review. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Steph. Thank you, Michelle. I'm going to have fun on the cruise now. Dolly says, when Lauren tried to pay Dan back, he told her she was locked in. Yeah, he did. She's like, nope. Michelle said, James B popping by. Okay. Hey, Hemi girl, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. And oh, so lady came by. Thank you. My girl Abby hasn't stopped by yet. She must be busy because she normally will stop by. And then Stephanie said 45 likes, 33 were watching. And Hemi says men never step to men of bigger stature or higher stature than them. And men who can fight don't lead with their fist either. They try to diffuse the situation first. That's true. Yeah, that's what they were talking about. Al and somebody else, but yeah, it's like they're not going to. Al was not going to step to Wayne at all, and Wayne was not stepping to anybody larger than him. We know that. Michelle says, I hope Wayne doesn't think this drama that we want at the beginning, the middle, and the end. Drama is good. Comedy is good. It's just some of this stuff he's losing people on. So to have some of it, and there have been a lot of calls for Dan to come out. So we finally got Dan, and maybe after this, Dan will just go into hiding someplace and just be gone. But everybody was waiting for Dan to pop out. So because they want Lauren to be knocked down a few notches. I don't think that's going to knock her down, but I think everybody was waiting for Dan. And Hemi Girl says, I don't understand why Lauren doesn't call the police. Because Wayne won't let her call. Dolly said, there's nothing material in this world worth that Dan's putting Lauren through. Well, she thought it was. Stephanie, be quiet till my Libby backs it up. Yes, she does, and she got them all crazy with the backup. I guess that's what gets them. So I'm like, Kendrick, really? Angela says, Uli went in Natasha's house, steal a dress and a pair of her earrings. Ain't that some crazy? And Natasha she will call the police on you in a minute. Dolly says, thanks for coming out of the bushes and stopping by Miss B's reviews. Definitely. I'm glad y'all are coming out of them bushes and saying hello. You can always go back. Just come out and say hello. And Carla gave 10 jewels. And said they're hiding. And she gave another 10. And Esther says, I don't like Barracuda Lauren, but I still don't want Dan to hurt her. Let you pay about the money and he goes his way. But she's so determined that he's not going anywhere. He doesn't want his money. He don't want that money. To him, I think he felt like he gave that stuff to her from his heart because he truly was trying to get with her. And I think she is so good at what she does with the scamming people that she was making him feel as if she wanted to be with him. And that's why he kept going out of his way to give her gifts because he knew that if I give you a gift, you're gonna stay with me. If I come back and you talking about getting rid of me, I give you a gift, you're gonna stay. He was appealing to her greed, and she was appealing to his I don't even know what you call it with him, but they were appealing to those emotions in each other. And now they done got them into a they're in a bind now. Each other. Oh, Jeff said the next skit better be back up pulling up to help, or back up pulling up to help Lauren. It would be, it should be, but she you called it, Jeff. I don't know if she must have got it loose to my she calling Delicia for help. She should have been called. She should have called Delicia before she went to the apartment. You supposed to call for backup before. Yep, she running out of the apartment and he's standing in the door from what I see. And it says she calls Delicia for help. You should have been called the girl. And now see Dan, they're gonna come, Delicia gonna get her people to come from Miami and handle you. But that's Lauren's fault. Yeah, that's Dolly. Althena and Dalen was also there in LA. I couldn't think of Althena's name. Helen and Althena, and Sarah were there. I think they wound up meeting each other up there. But yeah, they were there in the Airbnb along with Amber, Ernestine, Erica, and there was somebody else there. I don't know why they had Dalen there with them, but somehow Dalen wound up being there. And Esther says, okay, I read that one already. And Esther said, but Dan is determined he's not going anywhere. That's what he said. So I guess what's going to wind up happening is Delicia is going to get her people to come handle him. And they better not hurt him too bad either. Just put him in the hospital. Michelle says Lauren is like Shayla. She can't fight physical. She lets her mouth write checks that she can't cash. Yeah. Well, there's no way she was going to fight Dan because he's too big. And Angela says a new skit. Thank God Dan didn't hit her. Nah, he ain't hit her. And Angela says Dan can't force Lauren to be with him. No, he can't. But crazy people do that. But they when people lose it all and they feel like they have nothing else to lose, that's where they wind up going. They might not be able to force you to be with them, but those are those people who start with, if I can't have you, nobody can. If you're not going to be with me, you're not going to be with anybody. And they start taking people's lives. Like I be watching too many of these crime stories, and that's what happens. They go off on the deep end and they hurt everybody. And Dolly says, Miss B, when Mr. Mitchell told Sonny he would rather her be with Mike, I was like, come on, Mr. Mitchell. He couldn't stand Mike. And Mike ain't no good. It's like, why would you want somebody, your daughter, to be with Mike? He thinking about their money. He right along with everything else, thinking about their damn money. Yeah, Angela, I see that she ran into the street and called Delicia. You should have been called Delicia. What you gonna do? Run down the street now? Somebody they're telling you, Jeff, that Lauren ran. She got away from him. Yep, she got a new skit. Angela says Uli is about to break in half if she just don't stop walking like. Oh God. Esther, you already subscribed. Thank you, dear. I appreciate it. We got a lot of new people out here, so that's what I'm trying to tell them because I've never seen their names before. So if they not subscribed, go ahead on and subscribe. And Keisha says Lauren needs to call the cops instead of calling Delicia. She keeps giving him a chance. Stephanie to my Uli is hilarious. Dolly says, when Amber and Anthony was looking at some development property, Anthony was coming into Amber, and Amber told Anthony about Rolanda, and Wayne and Anthony started pursuing Anthony. Oh, okay, so Amber told Anthony about Rolanda and Wayne, and then Anthony started pursuing Amber. Okay. So that's how he got hooked up into with Wayne. But actually, what I remember is when Anthony was first introduced, he came, but I guess I didn't see the skit before he met with Rolanda and not Brooke, Blake, and then he wound up. Then Rolanda introduced him to Wayne. I don't know. That's when he was talking about that 30,000 or having access to that 30,000 or something for investment. And Wayne was trying to act like he was all big. Today is Cray Day and Skid. Hey, it could be. Angela says, Stephanie, yes. Uli bringing back the laughter. Yeah. Dolly says, Stephanie, when Uli did that flip on Natasha's floor, it was funny. So, that girl, something wrong with her. She got some other stuff going on. Esther says, I believe a man who abuses women is a weak man. They are, because they won't do the same thing with men. They won't fight men. They mess with someone who they know is weaker than them. And Angela says, Wayne don't want Dan to break him in half. No. Wayne see Dave, I'm Dan, and Dan got them big old shoulders. Wayne would not mess with him. That's why Wayne needs to get security. Dolly says, right, Henry girl, first Dan, then Uli, who's next? Um, who they got on deck? Child, Libby will pop up someplace. Stephanie says, Dolly, that flip was everything. Uli brings funny in these flips. Angela talking about Libby let everybody through the back door, huh? Her back door is open for. Oh, Lord, it's open. And Esther says, DVA, I don't like it because watching the skits with Dan and Lauren gives me a panic. Something for me. I was in an abusive relationship for 18 years. Well, I'm happy that you were able to get out of that relationship, Esther. And I know it definitely does. It definitely triggers when you see that kind of stuff. It definitely triggers you. So I'm glad you're able to get out of it. And of course, like I said, they're not going to go but so far in these skits to show something like that because that's not supposedly what they're about. Y'all still watch? Y'all still with that Uli with the backflip? I'm gonna have to go see Uli with the flip. And Stephanie said 52 likes and 28 watching. Well, at least everybody that's coming in is liking the video, which is oh so important. Even though they might come in and out, I like the fact that people are actually liking because YouTube pays attention to those likes and that helps them push the videos out further to different people, different groups of people. Angela says, I didn't know Lauren could cry. Oh, she crying, huh? I bet she didn't know she could cry either. Diamond says, I knew Uli would keep bringing the laughs from the moment she kept introducing herself and saying, my name is Uli, but people call me Ooh La La. Sometimes she's not funny. Well, I'm not gonna say that it's probably funny because y'all say it's funny, but some of the stuff she be doing borders on she be bordering too. Burying Charles underwear. I'm like, okay, girl. Um, Dolly says, Esther, I'm sorry you went through that. Sometimes the skits mirror real life experiences. Yeah, they definitely do. I'm glad you were able to get out of that because that's not anything to be able to go through. It's that abuse is not easy and it takes a long time to recover. Angela says, oh, wow, Esther, no matter what she did, this is not love. Now Lauren realized it's real and she's crying. Yeah, because she played the game. She played the game. Angela says, remember Dan said he have some people from Miami too, so Dan people will be meeting Delicia people at the apartment. Y'all think the Dan people gonna meet Delicia's people at the apartment? Well, Delicia's people have to get from Miami to Atlanta. That it's not that quick. It's not that quick. So Dan could be long gone by the time they get to Atlanta. Dallas says, I agree. I don't want Dan to hit Lauren either. However, Lauren needs to be shocked to her senses for how she used Dan. And if y'all say she's crying, she is shocked now because she's finding out that that man is not playing and you can't control him. And the next time you try, you're going to be in trouble. Trapstar said, this is insane. Lauren just ran outside, called Delicia to come over and help her deal with Dan instead of calling the police. And Trap says, Lauren continues to put other people in harm's way. She needs the police at this point. This is how innocent people get hurt. And yeah, and her, but she don't want to lock him up. But her restraining order covers Atlanta. So all she got to do is call and they will pick him up based on the fact that she has that restraining order against him. Or is the restraining order real? That's always is it a real restraining order or did she just type up some paper and say it was a restraining order and it's not a real restraining order, that's why she won't call the police. Because after this, you should be calling the police also. Forget Delicia. Call the police. They'll get there before Delicia gets there. And Dolly says, Steffi, I've been refraining from mentioning Anthony all week. See, y'all, we went a whole live and we talked about some other people. We didn't talk about those people at all, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. Because sometimes they consume us too much. And Carla says Lauren should have called the police instead of calling Delicia. Everybody feels like that. Dolly says Lauren shouldn't call Delicia because Dan won't listen to Delicia. Delicia can't stop Dan because Dan will get you both. Unless Delicia coming packing, Dan will get you both. Stephanie said Dolly. Why you put his name in your comments? See, we weren't mentioning him. Said Dolly the clown is a straight clown. I tell you, a straight clown. He missed his calling to the circus. So we weren't talking about him, Stephanie Martin. And Dolly says, I remember that song, The Choking Kind of Love by Joe Simon. Man. Dolly says, Stephanie, you know I don't like his DV actions and behavior towards Amber and women thinking he can buy them. Yeah. See, Dolly, you did a great job. You didn't put his name in there at all. And Stephanie says, of course, Dolly, it's really the choking kind of love because this is serious. And Dolly was speaking to Nanya. Nanya probably gone. She come in and say hello. And Stephanie talking about she needs to cry. Well, she's crying. Shirley says, Esther Ruth, congratulations on your rising above what you've been through. Yes. And Stephanie saying, yes, Esther, I'm so sorry you went through that. God is good and that you're out of it. Hey, Michelle Thompson, how you doing? Stephanie saying she is a criminal too. That's why she's scared. And it could be that she's also a criminal. I wonder if she has a background, if she has some complaints against her, and that's why maybe she's not calling the police. I don't know. Michelle, we wondering the same thing. She has the restraining order. Why doesn't she use it? The only reason why I almost could say she doesn't use it is because maybe it wasn't a real restraining order. Maybe she typed up some stuff and gave it to Dan and had somebody give it to him and it was fake. Could be because that's the only reason why I would think that she wouldn't use it. I wouldn't bit more care whether Dan went to jail or not today. After he did what he just did, now he needs to be in jail, and he get out how he get out. And Esther says, why Lauren didn't call the police? Why calling Delicia? What the least can do? Why is she so afraid of getting the police involved when she have a restraining order? This is crazy. Y'all bet money that that restraining order that she gave Dan is not a true restraining order. It's fake. She didn't go fill one out. She went to the police station. I don't know because I don't know why she not using it. That's all I can think of that is fake. Dolly says Stephanie ad running running a circus of clowns at that mansion with Anthony, Denisha, and Shayla going back and forth. Child. Esther says, why Lauren didn't call the police? Why is she calling Delicia? What can she do? Why is she so afraid of calling the police when she have a restraining order? It's either a fake restraining order or she got some warrants against her for some. I wouldn't be surprised if Lauren don't have no warrants or somebody has filed some claims on her for fraud. Dolly said now Lauren's on the Barracuda list with Denisha. Well, they like each other. They're friends. Since their men are friends, so they're friends. And Esther says, thank you all. It takes a lot of prayer and fasting for me to get the strength to get out of the abusive relationship. Yes, it does, Esther. But we're glad you were able to get out. That the important part is that you got out and you remain out and you didn't go back. And Esther says, no, the restraining order is real because Dan, he took it to Mr. Big, his lawyer, and he looked at it and said it's real, but and I don't know why the girl won't use it. And Michelle Thompson said maybe Lauren has a scamming background. Maybe. I don't know. Well, she does have a scamming background. Maybe she has something that maybe she has something against her, but I don't know. Anyway, guys, I thank you guys for a great live. Good. And I actually caught up to the chat. Did I catch up? I caught up to the chat and right on time. Okay, guys, so I'm going to call it quits today because my voice is on its way of giving out. And I enjoyed myself today. And I like the fact that we talked about some other characters today instead of the AAS and, that group. Even the ADs and um, even the ADs, we didn't talk about them, so we didn't have to get all the anxiety and all that stuff. So I'm glad we were able to put our channels towards somebody else. Dan and Lauren gave us some good stuff to talk about. And we'll be back tomorrow to talk about somebody else. I don't know who they're gonna give us for tomorrow, but y'all watch the gangsters. Watch Bethany tomorrow because Bethany about getting on my nerves here lately also. But in any event, Stephanie saying that she does have a scamming background. Thanks, Janie. I will. I'm going. Well, it's next week, so I'll be here tomorrow. I'll be back on again tomorrow. And Lioness says, everyone have a good evening. And I definitely will enjoy that vacation, Lioness. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you, Steph, for being my person out there. I thank you. Always grateful for you too. And I will see you guys tomorrow, 12 o'clock. Bring your brunch.